So, you want to get better at raiding in Meet Your Maker, Behavior's newest title. It's not actually as hard as you think, and in today's video, we're going to give you guys some fantastic tips to help you get this done. Let's jump on into it. So I've been raiding for quite a while now. My rank is currently Silver 2, which essentially means that you have been successfully doing raids. Every time you successfully do a brutal raid, you get yourself plus 200 for a total of 2,500, which will then take you to the next rank. So I've went through Bronze 1, 2, 3, 4, Silver 1, Silver 2, and obviously you can go higher, but I think I might be able to give you a tip or two on how to do some better raids. With that in mind, let's go ahead and talk about the basics. These are the things that you're going to be looking out for in every one single base. So there's a couple of different things that I'm going to display to you on screen right now on a little bit of a pre-recording where I go over every single trap and every single enemy that is currently in the game. Keep close attention to the noise indications that you're getting and how to defeat the actual mobs, and that way when you're running bases, you'll know what to do. Starting off, we have the transparent block. As you can see, you can kind of see some ripples on it, so you know that these are the transparent blocks, and eventually they are going to go away. Now, there are upgrades to make this a little bit better, but you can tell it's a transparent block. If anybody does hide anything, your little indicator that you see on screen will let you know as a red target like this. So if you look behind a block, you'll know. If you get close enough, it will disappear, and that's pretty much how it is. The next is your corrosive block. You can actually go through these if you are quick enough. So let's say you go like that, you can actually get through them. So if you are in a tight situation, sometimes you can do that. Some of them are going to be solid depending on what upgrades, so you can't do that, and some of them will hurt even more. The next is the spike trap, and sadly this piston is making so much noise, but essentially if you are next to one of these, it will give you a little indicator. I'm going to wait for the piston to do its thing, and then we'll try to trigger this. All right. There it is. So essentially it makes that little like shine noise. Here are your pistons. Sometimes they will be running the add-on to actually kill you, so just be careful with that, but most of the time these are pretty harmless. I'm going to break it so it doesn't actually make much more noise. But yeah, those basically are there to stop you. Next on the list is your bolt traps, and you'll get a loud indication about this, and you can trigger it from a decent amount of range. So that's your noise, so you know when it's coming. Next is your incinerator. Same thing, you'll get a little bit of a noise. There you go. So you know that that's coming. It basically sounds like an oven turning on. You can get rid of that. On the other side, we have your eyeball, which will make that noise. These will send targeting missiles towards you, and depending on the upgrades, they can be pretty bad. Sometimes they can self-destruct. Sometimes their little things will put an area that you can't go to, so be wary of that. Next on the list, we have the Iron Claw. Again, you'll hear a noise like that, and then it'll grab you. You can break this. Typically, people combine this with other traps in order to kill you. So sometimes they'll put like a spike wall. Sometimes they'll put other things. It will let go of you eventually. You also can parry it. Most things can be parried. So, for example, you can do that. Most things can be parried. You can parry bolts. You can parry bombs. You can parry any projectile that comes your way, essentially. Speaking of, next is the bomb trap. Again, you'll hear a noise. I'll do that, and then bombs will fly. Again, you can parry them. I ended up dying because there is a lot, but you can parry these, and that's essentially all of the traps. Again, you can parry everything. So when the bolts are coming towards you, when everything is essentially coming, we will try again from here, and I'll show you. Everything can be parried. So if bolts are coming, you can parry them. You can't parry fire, so don't try parrying fire. If your Iron Claw is coming your way, you can also parry that. So Iron Claw's coming. Oh no. Bam. Get it out the way. If any projectile is coming to you, like the eye, for example. Nope. If the eye is coming towards you, you can, we'll actually try going in front of it. You can parry that as well. This also works for every single guard and their weapon. Nope, I did it a little bit too late. You can do it. It takes some practice, of course. But yeah, All right, let's go ahead and talk about all of the different guards that are in the game. This is the tank that you're seeing. The tank essentially has 2 giant metal arms that will come and try to crush you. He will scream before this. You cannot parry this. You have to shoot him in order to stagger him if you are using a strong enough weapon. His back is his weakness, and after he attacks, you can easily get this. So let's go ahead and move here so he sees us. Hello. So he'll do that. If you can avoid that, which I failed to do, but just to show you, you can shoot his back and you can instantly kill him, or you can shoot his armor twice. If we try that again one more time, you can actually stagger him out of even attacking. So let's say he's coming to attack. You can, oh, well, I killed him there, but let's try to get his armor broken in this case. Let's see. Hello, buddy. Okay. Can I get the armor broken? Yep. You can stagger him out of his attack, causing him to stop. Next on the list is probably the most common enemy you're going to see. It is your regular guy that just shoots bolts. That was a really fast bolt. I wasn't expecting it to kill me that quick. And as you can see, you can parry this. Just like the tank, you can stagger him, and then you can kill him. Basically, do it pretty easy. And yeah, that is just his attack. Next on the list is pretty much the same guy, except he shoots bombs. Now, these are not fun, and you can parry these as well, but let's say you don't. Those bombs will become homing sometimes, depending on what they have, and they are going to be a real pain to deal with. Again, you can sometimes straight up kill him if you hit him in the right spot, or you can also break his armor. I'll quickly show you that. So you can attempt to break his armor, that'll stagger him, and then you can kill him. And the final enemy that you're going to be seeing is the flying enemy. They fly around depending on the path, and they will also just shoot some regular orbs at you. Those are a little bit slower. I missed time there. That was my fault. And yeah, you can parry these as well. And that's pretty much all there is. Again, you can break his armor to stagger him. And those are the enemies that you are going to be dealing with. The bomber, the flyer, the regular gun guy, and the tank. All right, now that we got the basics out the way, you should start training yourself to Herodias a little bit more. It's time to actually put those skills to test on some actual bases. I recommend, if you are having difficulties, to do the dangerous bases before the brutal ones, as dangerous ones are a little bit more easy to do. Now, here are a few things that you want to pay attention for and what you need to keep in mind with bases. Number 1, when you load in, take a look at that prestige down there. If it is a high prestige, it means that a lot of people have died on this base. Meaning, if you are having a lot of difficulty and you've died a numerous amount of times, sometimes it's best to leave that raid and go for a different one. Number 2 is that a lot of people front load their bases. Because of this, we can take advantage of it and kind of skim our way through everything and go as quickly as possible without worrying too much about the traps. A lot of people don't find a healthy middle ground between front loading their traps and getting traps on the way out. They might have 1 or 2, but you can take a lot of advantage of that. Number 3 is that there's always going to be traps that are at the very end of the game. When you're about to make it out, there's always backup traps that someone have, so keep that in mind as experienced players put that. And the last thing is that there are buried treasures around the map. I'll talk about it a little bit more, but if you hear a really loud noise, it means that there's a buried treasure with someone that's buried there. Sometimes people like to trap it, so be careful. So with that being said, it is time to select a base. With these things in mind, we can now be like, all right, where should we go? What bases should we get? Again, go for the dangerous bases. If you want to go for brutal, that's fine too. I also recommend taking a look in the top right-hand corner. You can actually see what bases are smaller in capacity than others, and you want to prioritize going to those bases because the bigger bases will have much more enemies, much more traps. If you can go to a smaller one, it means it's a higher prestige more than likely, but it is smaller, so we can again take advantage of that. With all of these things in mind, the best strategy that I have found is essentially literally ziplining and running through bases as quickly as possible. A lot of people that create these bases, a lot of these creators don't think that people are just going to run through everything. Every single trap in the game and enemy have a little bit of a buffer before they actually attack. Nothing will instantly kill you, and the only way that people kind of find to go around this is by spamming a bunch of traps. By doing so, they then make a little bit of opening for you where you could just run through all the traps, have all of them backfire on each other, and then work your way through. Again, keep this in mind because some bases are not necessarily built that way. If you are seeing pistons on the map, those bases are likely not meant for you to speedrun. And if you are trying to do it, you'll probably end up failing a lot. Keep in mind as well, you might die in a lot of these bases. Don't get discouraged. On average, if you're playing against a brutal base, I've noticed that it takes a really good player maybe 5 to 7 attempts. If you're going to 10 and beyond, I would recommend leaving that raid and not wasting your gen mat or de-leveling in your ranks. So with that being said, run through those bases and then try to find a nice safe spot where you can just kind of relax and then take things slow from there. You kind of want to have that healthy balance every single time. Fast as you can out the gate so you can get rid of all the front loaded traps. When you're near the middle, slow it down, take your time so you can kind of recuperate and figure out where the rest of the traps are, then use what you need to do. You can use your grenades if there's a lot of traps in certain areas. Remember, the walls and the ceilings are hugely beneficial because people don't think you'll zip line to them and kind of stay around them. And then finally, keep in mind, as soon as you pick up the gen mat, there's going to be tons and tons of traps. We'll do the same thing again because people like to put a bunch there. They think that's your best safety option. Just dash out of the room. The traps take such a long time to come up. You can dash out the room and then take it slow all the way out. And then remember, there's some traps that will always hit you at the back. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and do some live raids for you guys right now. And we're going to put all of these strategies in test. If you think you basically got the strategy that I'm talking about, feel free to click off, but I'm going to walk through some raids. We're going to do it for the first time. These are going to be raw. I'm not trying to, hide anything from you guys and just show you guys what actual natural raids are like. So with that being said, let's jump on into the game. All right, so here we are. I'm just quickly looking at my base. I will have a guide telling you guys how to build some crazy good bases. Look, 300 kills, 700 kills. Our bases do pretty decent. So I'll show you guys how to make some really deadly bases. For now, we're teaching how to raid. Tomorrow's video will do that. When you get your champion raids, if you want to stay on dangerous, that's fine. I recommend going to brutal even if you've been doing dangerous. Every time you progressively beat bases, you'll get some XP that levels this up. And every time you beat a champion base, essentially, you will get some cool rewards. If you do 3 brutal bases or every other brutal base will give you a champion one, and that's pretty much it. It just means that the base is really good. So we've never rated this. We can also see in the top right, this is really small. So for it to be dangerous means that there's probably a lot of congested traps in there, but we can take advantage of that. It is Prestige 6. So again, thinking with the strategies, dying is normal. You can die up to 5 to 7 times on these bases. I'm just going to walk in, no traps right here. We've seen that our little friend went this way, so I will go that way. There's a trap. Not even going to worry about it. And then you could just kind of pace it. You don't need to be super slow, especially on bases that are open like this. You can kind of run through it. Now, I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but I am just going to run as quickly as possible. It seems like there's not a lot going on here. I don't know what's down there. Maybe buried treasure and like just a fake wall. Let's see here. Yep, we got some fake stuff, so I'm just running straight back up. Not even going to deal with it. I didn't even hear the buried treasure, so I'm not going to worry about it. It seems like this is a quite odd base. Not sure if we can make a really good point on this one, but regardless, we'll follow this line that they have carved out. Another tip, if things seem a little bit too easy, like if the gen mat was right up here or something, it probably means that they backloaded their base, that they made it so that when you get the gen mat, then everything happens. That seems like a nice way to escape, though. I'm not sure exactly where this gen mat is. Our friend sadly died, so we're going to have a little bit of a difficult time figuring out where exactly he was going to go, but we'll just look around. Again, keep in mind that he can't go anywhere that has like a jump or a leap or anything like that. It has to be a straight line with no gaps in between. Okay, it seems like this is the way to go. So again, there's traps. We're not even going to worry about them. We're just going to keep going. Just stay on your toes, keep moving. Once you do that, you don't need to really worry about it. There is a buried treasure. They locked it up so we can't get it, which is sad. If you are building a base, I recommend leaving it for the people. I guess there's no harm in doing so. If anything is facing your way like that, just hit them. You don't need to worry about it. This is definitely more mazy than I'm used to. So yeah, if anything's in your way, you can hit it. If they're not in your way, then don't worry about it. You can just keep going. There's gen mat. We'll grab that. Always keep an eye in the back. There's a trap behind here. Yep, there it is. You can parry pretty much everything. We'll parry that. So yeah, if anything does attempt to catch you off guard, you can parry it. You don't need to freak out about it. And once you get the gen mat, this space seemed a little bit too easy, so I'm assuming there's a ton of traps that are going to be out here. And we're just going to literally blast our way out of here. We're not even going to worry about the traps. There's no reason to. We'll just get a move on, and hopefully we can actually find our way out. And that's about it. That's how you kind of defeat these bases. I'm sure, remember, there's always traps at the end, so we got to keep that in mind. And from here, we just make our way out. We go as fast as possible, so we don't need to worry about any of the traps. And if anything is too far for you to hit, you can always just break him or by parrying them. So we're just going to go up here because I remember there was an exit up here somewhere. So we don't have to go through that long hallway. Actually, I don't think there's a lot of gaps to go in. We will just go the long way then. Oh, there's another trap again. Don't even worry about it. There's literally no point. Is there anything here? Nope. We will just head our happy way out the base. Any back traps? No. So this was a really odd base. It was a champion base. So hey, I'll take the 3 points and we can carry on. I will gladly move on. So there we go. 0 deaths. Pretty quick. We just don't worry about the traps. We got 125 for silver. Let's carry on. I'll raid another base and we can show you that pretty quickly. So yeah, we can go over to brutal. Some bases, again, you might die on, and that's fine. So let's say we are doing a more brutal base. Look for the ones that have smaller. If you don't get any, then here's a beautiful one. It's super small and it's brutal. So we can go and basically rate that. Sometimes you won't get these options, which is fine. I'll show you one of everything. So here's a brutal base. It means there's probably going to be a lot more traps. Prestige 1, which makes me think that this person just has very smart traps. Again, if anything's facing your way, you can break it. Looks like he has a tank. I'm just going to move back a little bit. Sadly, our friend died there. These guys are no trouble. You can kill them if they have no armor. And if you hit the right spots, you can kill them as well. Sometimes it's good just to walk in, walk out, trigger some traps, let them backfire. Yep, seems like there's a lot of things there. I'm just going to be on my lovely way. Not even worry about it. All right. Oh, that was unfortunate, but thankfully we we still got him. Yeah, that was really unfortunate what happened there. Always be worried these guys too, because their grenade or their things still hit you after time, which sucks. Like even if you're completely gone, you might just come and peek and they still might hit you. I'll get rid of him. And again, you don't need to even take these bases this slow. Like I'm just clearing it out just to clear it out, but you don't even need to worry about that. Like you could literally just run the whole base. Now, sometimes you do got to be careful because things like that can get you. And again, find that safe spot, cool down a little bit, and then be like, all right, what can we do from here? Once you find that nice medium, you won't have to worry about everything. So there we go. I'm just getting my ammo back. And now we will kind of figure out where we need to go, which I'm assuming we came that way. So it will probably be this way. So we'll continue, probably go up here. I'm just trying to think as if I was Harvey. Seems like we may have ran into a dead end here, actually. So maybe... Oh, no. There's a gen mat. Okay. So I think traps are going to spawn everywhere. Normally, like I said, just run out of it. You don't need to worry about the traps. Again, this seemed a little bit too easy, but... Yep. If anything's facing you, I'm going to show you how to take it slow as well. You can do either way. In our next base, which I'll probably do, which will be just a full-on big base brutal, I'll show you how to do it at a faster pace so you don't even need to worry about these things. So there you go. There's always going to be backup traps, as I said. So you need to be a little bit aware. You can take it slow coming out. Or, again, like you could just run like this and say, screw it. Not worry about any of the traps. Full traps are pretty much the only things that you will really need to worry about. Seems like there's a hole there. That doesn't seem like the way to go. Oh, here's the way to go. Oh, I hear buried treasure. Did he lock it up? I'm kind of scared. Where is it? Buried treasure is always nice to get. Any backup traps? There's always one at the end. Always a few at the end. So keep those in mind. You don't want to raid a base and then that's it. That's what I mean. Finding those bases are really easy. They'll give you a lot of good experience and you'll learn about these bases. I'll quickly do one more because I don't want to make this video too long. We have 200 there. We're about to hit into our nether silver. Let's do a big brutal base. This might be a lot tougher. We might have just been getting easier bases. Looks like we have a champion outpost. Let's go for the champion outpost. It does seem like this one is small though. Again, I'm getting some pretty good RNG. I'm just going to run through this base and see if we can do it. A prestige 10 champion base. So a lot of people have died here. I don't know what this is going to be like, but I'm just going to try to run through everything. Everything will be crazy and chaotic, but this is not the way to go. We have to take a right. There's a trap in there as well, so we're not even going to worry about that. Quite interesting. Not sure where our little friend went. He is self-destructing. Anytime you see a circle, it means that there is a bomb. So I don't know if he went this way or that way. Again, I'm trying to run through everything, but I'm having a little bit of a difficult time figuring out. And remember, you can always run backwards because you know wherever you just ran is the safe spot. So yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of traps here. To be honest, again, you could just run through everything and they will do literally nothing to you. You know, A lot of these traps are built that way. Self-destruct, get it out the way. And I think there's going to be a lot of traps when we grab this. Hi, tank. And yeah, we're just going to run through all of this. I went into a area I didn't want to go in, actually. There we go. And yeah, we'll just run through all of this. You literally don't even need to worry about any of these traps. That's kind of how these bases are made. And just kind of get out of there. And look, there's always backup traps at the end. Look at how many this one had, actually. And there you go. Running through them helps. Find that breathing part in the middle. Listen to the notes that are going to affect you. And that's how you do it. That one was pretty quick. Maybe I still want to give you guys one really big base. To show you guys that. Let's go purposely for a really big one. Here's a really big one. Lag is my friend. All right, let's see what your base is about. Again, you might die in some of these bases. You get the most points if you don't die at all. So if you can aim for that, that's fine. But 5 to 7 deaths, as I said, is normal. All right, so we got Prestige 2, which means a lot of people haven't necessarily died here, or this person hasn't besieged your base. Seems like there's going to be a lot of traps there later on. I'm just going to run through everything because why not? I'm going to go up here. Again, ow, that hurts, but that's fine. There is a lot going on here, and I'm kind of lost, so I'm just going to... Ow. I'm going to kind of look around now. Let me see, this is normal. This is fine. So it seems like when we get up here, I'm trying to look where we need to go because I ran to the right, and obviously this is a complete dead end. You don't really want to go there. It seems that Harvey just went... I think there he is. Ah, there it is. That's where he's going. So you can also pay attention to that. There is a tank there that we're going to have to worry about. And again, we're just literally going to try to run through this base and get it done. All right. Nope, a little bit of lag. So now we know which way to go. And again, as I said, these deaths are normal. You get deaths. That's what happens. But as you see, you don't need to worry about half of these traps. Like half of these traps, there's no need to worry about whatsoever. You can just kind of run through literally most to everything. Don't need to worry about it at all. Just run through it. I'm going to shoot that tank. Just run through all the traps, find that safe spot, and then now we can kind of breathe. You know, we're like, all right, we got to where we need to go. We got past all of the front-loaded stuff. Now there's probably going to be a few more traps here and there that we will need to pay attention to, but for the most part, we should be okay. Again, you have your grenades, so if there's anything you're feeling tricky about, just use your grenades. I'm going to break this just for later. Very ominous hallway. Seems like there's going to be a lot of traps when we come back. There's a burner, and yeah, it seems like there's going to be a ton of traps when we come back. So I'm just going to quickly grab this. There are the ton of traps I was talking about, and we're just going to kind of bolt out of here. Sorry, Harvey, I am going to kill you in the case that you block us, because it does happen. See, parrying really helps you as well. Anything in your way, just shoot it. I also have a speed boost every time I knife something, which is also a nice little thing to have if you are going to just run through these bases. You guys might not have it, but that's completely fine. Again, don't need to even worry about all of that stuff that's going on, and just kind of run out the base. That's pretty much all you need to do. There's always going to be backup traps at the end. As you see, there's one right there. Everyone loves those. And that, my friends, is how you escape these bases in pretty quick time as well. Sadly, we did get a death here, but that's fine. That happens. Again, 5 to 7 deaths are normal. And that's how you raid in this game. It's really easy. The back traps give you tons of XP. You can level up. And if you really want to make it worth your while, look for the Forsaken treasures. The buried treasures. I'll quickly show you one. We'll go to this champion base and I'll show you how to identify it. Sometimes people are nice and they just show you. Sometimes people are not so nice. I'm one of those nice guys. If you are building a base, it doesn't hurt you to do it. So in order to find them, some people like to just show it outside. So we're just going to kind of listen. We can kind of hear it here. You hear it? Seems like it's out here somewhere. Maybe it's in here. Ah, he covered his. It might be in his base or he covered, but that's with the buried treasure site. It can make your runs worth a lot more if you do it that way. And yeah, that is pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. That's how you raid bases. Go to speed. You know, get as quickly as you can. Get through all the front-loaded stuff. Eventually, people will find ways to do this. If you are dealing with pistons, use your grenades to get them out the way. Those are the only things that will stop you from speedrunning these bases. And then you can continue doing what you need to do. I think this guy actually has some pistons. So this is a good example. You just toss a grenade. Don't even need to worry about them. You can shoot. You can get your stuff back. I missed a couple of shots there, actually. Looks like there's a plasma. So this is really reminiscent of the base that I'm going to show you guys how to build. But there are ways of beating this base as well. Anything attacks you, just move out the way. You can also use other things to help you. And at that point, you just try to speedrun through everything. You don't even need to worry about it. Oh, I did get grabbed there, but that's fine. That's unfortunate, but it's okay. I tried to parry there. I missed my parry. That's completely fine. And that's what happens. That's what some of these bases are like, you know? Especially with the pistons, you need to be careful. But if there are pistons, as I said, especially if they don't set it to go super crazy, you can easily just get past all of them. They're not too much of a worry. Gonna shoot that. Shoot that. And then, yeah, I'll just run through as much as we can here. Break that. Shoot that. Break that. Shoot that. There's a burner. And we can essentially run through. Once we find a nice safe spot just to kind of chill out, we can then take our time, destroy what traps we can, and then that makes it so much more convenient. But there you go, guys. That is pretty much how you beat bases. I don't want to make this video extremely long. Tomorrow, we're going to show you how to build bases. We got a 20 kill ratio on this with over 700 kills. I'll show you guys in tomorrow's video how you build one of these. And then another video will show you guys all little tips and tricks that I figured out. Look at all of the deaths. God damn. Essentially, just to give you a little sneak peek. Yeah, it's not fun. I'll show you how to make this base tomorrow, but I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you leave a like if you did. Subscribe for some more Meet Your Maker content. We'll see you on tomorrow's video. Take care.